Hello, 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 and welcome to another live stream of Virtual Flight Diaries. And we are here with the Fokker F28. Well, this one's the 1000 series, and we're here in the USAir livery. And we're going to take her on down to Norfolk, Virginia in a flight from 1993. This will be flight 535 out of Philadelphia down to Norfolk, a shuttle service that was done during the summer. So apparently it's odd. So the code, the ICAO code for USAir is USA, which apparently is now being used by a helicopter company called out of Uzbekistan called Silk. So hopefully ATC can differentiate. Well, anyway, let's get on board. Let's get fired up, and let's get this Fokker going. We're gonna be doing a lot of puns here because, well, you know, we gotta have some fun. Let's get on board. Oh, forgot what view I was in. So here we are. We're on ground power, all set up. So here's your battery. Here's your ground power switch. So as long as you have this on right here, you're good to go. So let's get set up. Let's do our flows and let's get out of here. Got about an hour 15 in the air, an hour 40 block time, and we are on Vatsim. Although there doesn't seem to be any ATC on now, but that's okay. All right, so let's get these things going. Generators are on. Let's go. No smoking signs. Test that. Let's stay off for now. That all looks good. That comes on. All right. And that all looks good. And we're going to be flying up to for level 300. So we'll get that set in. And we're looking at 2953 or 1000. Here's 1000. Then we'll go up to set the cabin altitude to 30,000. That all looks good. All right, that's it for the overhead for now. And this is good for now. So we have the UNS-1 navigation system that we're using. If you guys have seen, I do have a tutorial on that on the channel. If you guys want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. All right, so we do some tests. We got our speed computation test. That just tests that gauge right there. And what that does is that follows this marker. So we could set this and then it'll show trends for us, just for some situational awareness. Barrow's set. We got test these up. That all looks good. That's good, that's good, that's good. All right. I'm going to turn on the electric pump for the hydraulic pressure, get the brakes set. Come here, we'll put the radar on standby and put the tilt to +15. Kill the warning. We'll come down here. We'll do our towing test. Engine fire left. Engine fire right. Our TVI test, which is the vibration amplitude of the engine. And our APU fire test. That's good. Reset. So you want to make sure that you do the APU fire test. You want to make sure that the APU is not on when you do that. All right. Actually, what we could do is we can get some gas going. All right, so fire tests are done. Fuel pump tests. You want to make sure the lights go out, which they do. Center tanks on and then off. We get the nav on, let everybody know we are in the cockpit. Get the master radio on, and we'll fire up the INS, the UNS. And that's it for our flow. It looks like our fuel truck has arrived. And we'll start refueling. And while we're refueling, let's get our flight plan into the UNS. So update it to the current AIRAC. We'll accept that. Everything looks good. We're on GPS. Coordinates look good. So let's go to flight plan. So we are leaving from Philly. And we are going to be departing 9 left, so that's 2. Enter. Using the Philly 3. Enter. All right, that's in. And we're going to be vectors STOEN. Oh, here's a cool little thing. So this is, if you click on this screw right here, it takes you right to the UNS. And then if you click on this screw, it'll take you right back. It's pretty cool. Just found that out. And this many years old when I found that out, just today. All right, so from STOEN, we're going to go to REEFI. And then from REEFI, we're going to go direct ME. And then from ME, we're going to be taking a airway. So how to do airways is, if you saw my tutorial, you hit list, click on airway. It'll give us a list of airways leaving from ME. And we're going to do the J48. So that'll be number 2. Hit enter. And then we are connecting with MOL. So that's 1. And from MOL, that's our last waypoint. And we're going to do the Turks 2 arrival. All right, so we got code KO RF. Norfolk International, that looks good. Accept. And we'll go back to menu. We're going to go to the arrival. We're going to do an arrival for 23. Hit enter. We're doing the Turks 2. So that's 2, enter. We'll do the ILS 23 approach. And that's from ORF. So we got our flight plan in. And you could just go through it. Flight plan summary. So page 4. So next 1, 2, J Hall, OC thing. All looks good. All right, so we go to fuel page. As you can see, it's kind of auto loading for us. We try to get that fuel on board. Yep. And bang, we're back. I thought it was pretty cool. All right, so let's get the CTAF in. So the easiest way, you can do it this way, or the easiest way, with this one I'm going to put they oddly get blurry for some reason. There's some kind of bug. I'm going to put guard in 2. And then I'm going to hit tune. And the CTAF for Philadelphia is 118.5. So we're going to go 118.5. Hit enter. That is now in the active. And we can go 1228. Put that in 1. Okay, so that's all good. Let's go back to the fuel page. Well, that's all loading up. Let's start the boarding process. Passengers are boarding. All right, cool. All right, let's turn my sim down just a little bit. All right, so that's it. We're flight plan is in. Looks like we're all set for our next phase. So we're waiting for fueling to be done, which it almost is. About 2 minutes left, and we're going to then So then we're going to, once refueling's done, we're going to fire up the APU. Almost done. 1 minute left on the fuel. They're just waiting for the refuel truck to be done to start with the baggage. It's a little bit of a cramped slot right here. Do have a pretty sophisticated autopilot here, so we're going to go up to 30,000. There's no ATC on. And we'll just get that set. I want to just preset the vertical speed just in case I need it for the climb out, for speed up and so on. Alright, refueling is complete. So we'll get those seatbelts on. Main can come on. Now we're just going to use the APU for air for now, because we're still on ground power. And the reason you do that is it's less load and you use less fuel. All right, APU coming up. Tell you what, this F28 by Just Flight has got some pretty good sounds. I'm actually quite pleased with the sounds. All right, so that's up. So we're just waiting for all our passengers to board. We have all 42 passengers on board. Pretty full cabin. So we'll close that up. All right, APU's running. We turn on our bleeds. Cabin's good, so we'll turn that down. That's the cockpit. We get the cockpit air going. And we'll leave Gen 3 off for the moment. We'll get ready for engine start with that. So I had a crazy thing happen. My rudder pedals, the right brake axis broke. So let's see, I've had them for about 6 months. So I'm gonna not recommend the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 rudder pedals for anything other than the casual simmer, because man, they did not last. So now I am setting up for, I'm going to be ordering the MFG crosswinds. All right, Grib. Hey, welcome to the stream. Yeah, 6 months. So now I gotta get myself some new rudder pedals. But MFG crosswinds. A lot of people say some very good things about them, and they're comparable pretty much to the mid-range. So they will be coming shortly, probably within the next month. All right, so we're just waiting on all our baggage to get on board, since they had to wait for the they had to wait for the fuel truck to leave to get in there. All right, so one of the things they actually said with Just Flight's thing is that the ashtray, they actually have the exact ashtray sound. Apparently that was worthy enough for them to comment on their developer preview, which I thought was quite funny. Let's get a little cockpit lighting in here. Little mood lighting. So we've got 7 minutes left on our cargo, and then we could finish up with the fuel page. While we're waiting, though, we can do our alternate stuff. So we'll go to our OFP, and we look at our fuel. So our alternates, it's 2487. Our group, they finally got my letters to add the ashtray to the sim. Well, I'm very happy that Just Flight had listened to your plea to get the proper ashtray sounds in the sim, Grib. All right, so our hold fuel will be 982. So, whoa, that is not correct. Let's recalculate that. That's 2487. 2487. Enter. Gotta always hit enter. I forgot to hit enter there. 1882 for our hold. I'm not going to put any extra, so our total reserve is 3569, and that's actually pretty close. So looks good. All right, passengers are on board. Cargo is still coming up. So there is, I wanted you to take note, there is a little bug here. Once everything's done loading, you might have to re-input the passengers and possibly the cargo. It gets wonky for some reason, and I'm sure Just Flight will fix it, but it's just a little bug, and you just have to put the numbers back in, and just to say, anything you put in here is reference only. It doesn't affect the plane. This right here affects the plane. So if these numbers are right, it doesn't really matter what you put in here. Your fuel computer calculations will be off if these are wrong in here. But you can actually even skip this page and you could fly the whole flight. That's if you trust these numbers here. Boarding is complete, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's finish the fuel up. See, so it's weird. So if you just put 42 back in, hit enter, it now adds that. You can hit enter again, and see, now we're all set. So, Limp Rocketeer, I recommend Logitech G Pro flight rudder pedals, very sturdy build. You know, I had them a long time ago when they were SciTech, and I don't know. I didn't really care for them too much. I thought but I think I'm gonna go. I've already been doing the research, and I think we're all set to go with those MFG crosswinds, because they also have different pedal configurations, so which is pretty cool, which include like the Airbus and some combat stuff. So, all right, so 100 extra. Nah, we're gonna go 0 with that. All right, that's that. So we do look at our VNav. I'll explain this. I'll explain this up in flight. The nav page. So this is what's in here right now is the Philly 3, and we're gonna go direct to STOEN as soon as we get airborne. But what's pretty cool, so it's going to tell us that in 1.7 miles we need to be above 440. The thing is that this is where it counts down your distance away. It doesn't count down here, just so you guys know that when you're flying this this airplane, that you have to look at your DME for a good countdown. But all right, we are all loaded up. So let's get started. So fuel pumps come on. Gen 3 can come on, and we can then disconnect the ground power. And we will call for pushback and departure. One thing I do want to do is we got to put in our squawk code. So let's see, vPilot squawk code. We've got an auto squawk. So we're looking at 1603.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
1603. And we'll turn that on. Squawk mode C. That looks good. All right.
Locking gear.
Number T, I see you are going top shelf. Crosswinds are very nice. The price definitely reflects that. Yeah, and you know what? They're actually kind of priced mid-range, and I wish I didn't, because the Velocity ones are actually priced not much. They're not much more than the Turtle Beach, which is actually quite disappointing. I think I paid like $300 for those Turtle Beach Velocity 1 rudder pedals, and they one hard crosswind. I pressed, I kicked it, with right rudder, and the brake axis broke. All right, so we're gonna go nose left, tail right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Philadelphia traffic, USAir 535, pushing back, gate Bravo 7, Philly.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
All right, so we can start up the engine. So starter comes on. turning engine 2. Wait until about 10:15 on the N1. There's also another bug. Turbine fans do not move. I figured a little bit of an investment, it'll last a good while. I do know some of the content creators that use them have been using them for years. So.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
That's a good engine start on 1. So I'm going to do number 2 inside so you guys can see what that's all about.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
All right, so turning engine 1. And you see it's actually quite automated. All right, so here we are. Here's what we're looking for. So we're watching the RPM come up to about 10:15, and then we're going to kick it up to start. Probably help if you saw what I was doing. So I actually have, if you bind mixtures to it, it actually works these levers here, so you can get a more realistic kick up. Alright, so what you're doing is you're going to wait till the starter igniter kicks out, and then you're going to kick it all the way up to 1, or run. And that's it. That's engine start. And once we got a good engine start, we can shut the starter master down, and we're going to shut Gen 3 down. We can kill the air, kill the APU main. Generators are on. That's all looking good. Pitot heats can come on. Windshield's too low. Just to double check our cabin is set. And it all looks good. Alright, so should have put our beacons on. Alright. Clear that. And we are all set to go, guys. So let's get the let's get this Fokker out of here. Told you there was gonna be bad puns the whole stream. Alright. Philadelphia traffic, USAir 535, taxi to runway 9er left via Juliet Kilo Whiskey, Philly. Alright, park brake off. Brake tests, brakes are good. If you're using Flight Sim 2024, there is a brake bug which actually kills the whole thing. I don't know what it is with it, but you're going to want to do a brake test, because you're going to find yourself all the way out at the runway and you're going to hit the brakes and nothing's going to happen. You're not going to be able to stop. It's a known bug. I think Just Flight said they're working on it, so. So if anyone is familiar with the F28 Professional version 1, which was just VOR only. And I'll be honest with you, I did not fly that one. But there was a lot of it was a lot difficult. It was almost like, so I remember I did fly the British Aerospace 146, which was VR only as well, VOR only. And there was a lot going on. It was, from my understanding, it was rather fun. And if it was anything like the 146, it would have been a lot of fun, because I do like that old school stuff. But it was hard to stream, from my understanding. And I could see why. If it was just all manual flying, pretty much, those types of planes are hard to stream, and that's why helicopters are hard to stream as well, because it's all manual flying. All right. So head on down to Whiskey. It's got like an A300, maybe. Not sure that's Aer Lingus, but could be. All right, let's just double check things are good. Guess we're not on Kilo. Duh. We're running down Juliet when I announced that I was on Kilo. Rookie move. Rookie move. It's alright, we'll fix it. Alright, we'll do flaps 8 or 6 or whatever it is. I think it's 6. And we'll hit the card. This will set our speed bugs for us. The ground handling on this thing is awesome. And I highly recommend this plane. It's loads of fun to fly, guys. It's loads of fun. You won't be disappointed. And now with this system in here, it is just a nice, relaxing, because it's not too modern, but it's not too allowing the ability to do RNAV in a modern setting is almost necessary. There's not many VORs left. There's not it's hard for Vatsim. It just makes it easier when you can do that. All right, so we're coming up here on, is that Whiskey? Yep, the next one is Whiskey. All right, weather radar on. Bring the tilt back down. I don't know why, really. You're supposed to tilt that all the way up. I imagine it's for ground operations. I think it's so the radar doesn't point straight out your nose. I don't know. Anyway. Alright, so Philadelphia traffic, USAir 535, departing runway 9 left, Philly 3 departure, direct STOEN, Philadelphia. Alright, let's get out of here, guys. Let's get on our way, bring these passengers down to Norfolk so they can enjoy the lovely Virginia weather. Maybe take in, maybe go to Busch Gardens, see the sights, you can visit Yorktown. All right. I must say that's not a bad lineup. Not a bad lineup at all. Okay, so strobe lights on, and we'll extend it, get the landing lights on. That's all looking good. Home up 50. Let's get out of here.
Come through, please take your seats for takeoff.
Whoa. I know what I forgot.
Cabin is secure.
This one right here. Gust lock. Ugh. Do not forget the gust lock. Alright, so we're going to have... let's try to get lined back up. Alright. Bring it back center line.
knots.
80 knots, thrust set.
Rotate.
Rotate. That was a squirrely takeoff. Alright, positive rate, gear up. Quick.
Flaps up.
Alright, flaps up.
Set climb power.
Climb power set. Yaw dampener on. Let's do direct STOEN. Philadelphia traffic unit, USAir 535. Just departed runway 9 left. Direct STOEN. Last call, Philadelphia. Alright, so we go here to the direct 2. And look, number 4 is STOEN, so we put 4 in the box. Hit enter, and then hit beam up here. And we'll climb out at 230 knots for now. Beautiful city of Philadelphia. Get some VRAM back, kill the one camera. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? Let's get some likes for that. Let's get some likes for the Fokker F28 by Just Flight. That's awesome. All right, let's do some things, some piloting. All right, so that can come on. That can come on. Let's click that. power up to 250. Back to I-8 speed hold, and we'll climb out at 250. And there we go. We're off, guys. We are looking good. All right, so this side is the autopilot, this side is the flight director. So once the autopilot's set first, always set the autopilot first, and then you can set your flight director. So right now we're setting the flight director to VOR loc, which is the same as GPS track. And you want to make sure, in order to follow the UNS-1, you want to make sure that you're in GPS mode over here. All right, above 10,000, we can kill the landing lights. They all retract up in. Everything else is good. That looks good. Oh, one of the things we should have done, and I goofed, is we should have armed the lift dumpers. There's a little bit going on. I forgot that. That would have stunk if we had to do a rejected takeoff, but since we didn't need it, we're good. All right, so that seatbelt signs can come off. And pressure, let's see, our cabin is climbing, so that's good. Climbing and navving, and we're on our way to Norfolk, guys. In this, the Delaware River. You got to remember, guys, there's no auto throttle in this plane. So we've set the power to hold at 100. We actually can power back just a little bit. At 100%, it's our current climb power. And once we're up at cruise, we should set it up around 90%. And it should hold at about 7. All right, so I wanted to show you guys that trend indicator. So right now I can set that there to 250, and you can see we're right on the bubble, and it'll actually tell us if we're exceeding our set speed or slowing down on it. It's actually pretty cool. It's cool in the fact that, you know, most modern airliners actually have that, but it's computerized. This is just a nice little analog mechanical link between the airspeed indicator and the artificial horizon, which makes it cool in my book. But yeah, so I do apologize. You know, there was several moments we were trying to get this stream off, and I was unable to do it this past weekend between work and other commitments. But I'm happy that I'm here now, and yeah, so it's good to see this. You know, finally get a chance to stream. It's a little late. Release was last week, but better late than never, right, guys? Better late than never. Yeah, actually, get rid of that. It impedes our view of our world. So this must be the rain coming. I wonder, let's, so ORF is VOR. I wonder what the METAR data is. So Norfolk, you got weather, 18014, gusting 23, so that's a little spicy. So it's just clear. So 10 miles visibility, clear, and altimeter is 2953. Speaking of altimeters, standard set. Cross track passing flight level 239 now. Alright, so what's the TAF? Just to see what's coming up. 200 gusting 17, 217 gusting 26, so we're going to be increasing. Visibility is going to be falling off. Now it's going to be a little interesting. Ice detected in clear air ice. Okay. Yeah, Liprocteer, what did you do to fix your Vatsim problem you were having last week? I completely uninstalled Vatsim in every little bit of, just every component, including all my model matching and everything, and then did a ground up reinstallation. And it seemed to fix it. I have no idea what was causing it, but I figured I'll just start from scratch. But yeah, a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it worked. And we're back running again. Especially all the model matching stuff. So I don't know. So that's the only, there's this bug with the comms window that they go blurry. It's almost like that effect you get from the streamed planes when the internet gets a little slow. But this plane is on my computer, so I don't know why. So we're going to climb up to 30,000 feet. We're going to swing over. So our route today is, so our route today, I'm going to show you guys. Hopefully this doesn't crash anything. Fingers crossed. is a bit of a frame killer. So we're going kind of to the back side of Washington, D.C. So there's two ways to get down to Norfolk. There's this back loop around Washington, D.C., or there's also the coastal run. Coastal run's nice, but it's really quick, especially in this plane, less than an hour. So I thought we'd do a little bit of a longer flight, and the way you can actually, this way had some jetways, so I could show you plugging in jetways into the UNS, and it has a RNAV arrival. So we're going to do an RNAV into Norfolk. So that's where we're at. So here's Washington, D.C. We're going to swing around the back side of that. Come all the way out here and then back in. $1,000 to go. And I crashed the desktop yesterday, taking off from New Orleans with the Max, the iFly Max. That sucks. Did you look at your events? What caused the CTD? Oh, that's right. The iFlag had a big update. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That kind of stinks. The worst is though is when you have those crashes after, like, at the end, approaching the runway 4 hours into the flight, and it's like bam, and you're like, oh, come on, really? Yeah, the events log might help you out with what caused it. You did an uninstall and reinstall. Well, hopefully that fixes it for you. Might have just been a glitched installation on the update. I can't wait for all those planes to come over to 2024, because I can't bring myself to go back to 2020. I don't know. I can't. And I do miss, like, the 727. I miss flying that, and I know it's compatible with 2024, but I've just read the known issues, and it's just a lot of bugs. And you know, things like the PMDG 737 and the iFly Max. I can't wait for them to come back over in 2024. Look at that. It's so small. This is the 1000 model, which was the smallest version, the first version. Looks like a what was that? A Bombardier Challenger 600, kind of stubby like that. Yeah, sometimes that happens, I guess. It's you get that glitch, especially if you're overlapping updates. I'm not sure if the installer deletes it and then installs the fresh stuff. They tell you you should always like completely, when you're doing an update, you should completely uninstall your program and then do a fresh installation of the whole thing. Oh, we reached. See, not paying attention. We've got a little bit of an overspeed going, but we'll fix that real quick. Just power on back. We'll bring it back to Mach 7. So we'll set our speed trend for that. You notice we're going fast. And this will help us monitor our cruise speed. We're coming back a little fast on that. Let's just throw out just a little bit of speed brake. I'm okay with like 0.71 or 7.2. It's fine. It's about the same speeds as the cruise is about the same as the RJ 85, which is pretty interesting. So you see we're right in the bubble, and we could just monitor that back and forth, see whether we're trending fast or trending slow, and we can keep our cruise on. So we're up in cruise. What did I say? I was going to talk about the VNAV. So the VNAV is just an advisory VNAV. So we're going to look for a target of 2,000 feet per minute. And you just plug that in, whatever target descent you want. That'll give us a 4 degrees. That'll get adjusted. So our top of descent, 250 miles from now. And that's showing that J-Hall at 2,000. So that in 249 miles, we start down at 2,000 feet per minute. We will reach J-Hall at 2,000 feet. It's just an advisory. So this is the setting that you want to set it at. This is the advisory, and you can keep this path up, this window up through your whole descent, or bounce back and forth with it, and it'll keep showing your target vertical speed. Alright, Le Blocketeer, I love those plans. They weren't very energy efficient though. Very small, and the takeoff is pedal to the metal. Yes. Almost max throttle. Well, you know what? You think about how much fuel cost in the 60s. There was the bump up in the 70s with how much, with the fuel embargo, but yeah. So see, we're getting slow on our thing, so we just bump the throttle up just a little bit. You don't want to chase. You don't want to end up chasing these needles. And you could just monitor, like if you're happy with it being just a little below, that's fine. But we want to do some good piloting. So yeah, fuel efficiency wasn't on the top of their list of things, and noise pollution wasn't part of anything either. These engines were loud, and I read that even when they installed the hush kits, it didn't really help. Did I ever fly in the Fokker in real life? No, I did not. I did not have the pleasure of flying in a Fokker in real life. The potential was there. They were still flying in the late 90s. But no, my first airline flight, I was uh, 14 months old, I think it was, and it was a 727 flight. I don't remember it, obviously, because I was 14 months old, but uh, I was visiting my cousins in Michigan, and my mom took me on a flight out to Michigan. It was a 727, so I did get to fly in a 727, but I don't remember it. No, but my first airline flight was down to Comair Flight Academy in Florida for airline pilot school uh, in 2000, and I flew on a 737-300. USAir, actually, was the my favorite USAir livery. It was the dark blue and gray, and I remember standing at the terminal in Philadelphia, going, "Man, this is going to be cool." And yep, so I was 20, 23, 24. I do remember seeing them though. I do remember seeing the Fokker. I remember actually, I forget what airport I was at. I saw the F100. It's either an F100 or an F70 in a USAir livery. But I may be old. I'm just not that old. But I guess I could have had the potential. When I was growing up though, we didn't do very much vacations where we flew out anywhere. We mostly drove. You were on a few when you were a kid? You're 55 now? Well, you're a little bit older than me. A little bit older. I'm 49. So, well, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So, that's actually awesome. You know what? It's 1993. Everybody could smoke too. All right, moving right along. Let's see where we're at. Our handy dandy navigaph. Yeah, we're coming down over across Washington, D.C. And we're not going to be able to see anything. So was was it as loud as they said it was? Oh, so you got to fly a lot. So I guess this the it was so loud. Yeah, I can't. It said it was so loud it always scared my little brother. Yeah, I would have loved it too. So the did you see that Heatblur just announced that they're going to be bringing their F4 Phantom 2 to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024? That is my favorite classic fighter jet, is the F4 Phantom. So I can't wait for that one. A lot of stuff. Now I don't know when Heatblur's bringing the F4, but next month is supposed to be the drop for the Miltech MH60, the Jayhawk, which is the similar to the Blackhawk helicopter. So I'm going to do some Coast Guard ops in that thing next month. That's going to be fun. I've been learning some helicopters. I've been putting the time in behind the cyclic, and I've gotten pretty good. I am by no means a helicopter expert, but I have been improving. And I can't wait for that. Look at that. I never noticed. Look at this wear on this metal. It almost seems like it's too old. Look at that. A little rust. That's insane. So you can't open the windows, but we can walk through the cabin, so let's check that out. Stand up, walk through the cabin. Well, hello. So unlike the RJ series and the 146, there's no working coffee pot. There is a working flight attendant panel, which is pretty cool. You can chime the cockpit and so on and so forth. Adjust the volume for the music. Well, hello, passengers. This is 1993, so I can leave the cockpit door open. Just so you guys want to take a peek up there and see what we're doing. That guy looks sick. Did you check on him, guys? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He looks stoned. Yeah, she looks stoned too. Yeah, tell your flight attendants it's okay to sit down. Yeah, ladies, I mean, you guys could chill, you know, if service is done. I would check on that one guy. He does look like he's ill. Right here, ladies. Yes. Okay. We're not a full flight, but I guess not everybody wants to go down to Norfolk. Oh, no modeled bathroom, no flushing toilets. Well, that's not cool. Guess I'm gonna have to delete it. No flushing toilets. Instant uninstall. Alright, enjoying your flight? Enjoying your flight? Yes. Everything looks good. Ladies, seriously. Sit down, relax. We're only going to Virginia. All right, so we're on the down leg of We're just past Washington, D.C. And I'm wondering, I'm going to cut the, since there's no ATC. What the heck is that? Oh, so that's oceanic. That's what that is. Okay. All right, since there's no ATC on, we're going to do a little, we're going to cut the corner. And we're going to do a direct to, we're going to skip mole and do a direct to FAK, FA. All right, direct to next page. Yeah, fact 20. So let's see. And that should have made some adjustments to our, yeah, so it cut about 100 nautical miles off our top of descent. In Le Brocketeer, it's always kind of worried me when I was a kid when you would see the captain walk down the aisle and go to the bathroom. Yeah, you'd wonder what's going on, right? Yeah, because I don't think, especially in the F28, I don't think there isn't a forward bathroom in the F28. So yeah, the captain would have to walk down the aisle. As long as he's not looking out the windows, like if he stops and looks out the window over the wing, that's when I would get a little worried. Be like, "Excuse me, I just want to check out the wing there," and then he'd move on from there. Yeah. As long as he's not looking out the windows and he's just looking for the bathroom, I think would be cool. It would be okay. But if he stops and is trying to like look out the wing, and if he's got maybe a little bit of a worried look on his face, yeah. All right, so we cut the corner, and that shaved off about 6 minutes. Well, I saved us some 6 minutes, guys. I tell you what, so I've done a couple flights in this thing so far. Maybe put about 2 hours in the cockpit here. And like I said, I didn't fly the first version, the 2020 version. I never got it. It's just one of those planes that I just never picked up. But this is a lot of fun, and it's actually making me look forward to the F70, F100 series, which is a little more modern cockpit, but when those drop, that's gonna be loads of fun to fly those. Plus, we'll get the USAir navy blue. Yeah, so an interesting story, just to share. An interesting story I had. So, like I said earlier, my first airline flight that I can remember was when I flew down to Florida to do my introduction and tour of the Comair Flight Academy. So I flew down on a 737-300, and I flew back on a 400. But anyway, that's not the story. So we were down there, and me and a friend of mine at the time, we were touring the school and milling around, and we just weren't in the hotel room. And back then in 2000, like, we didn't have the cell phones and stuff like that we have now. I had a flip phone. Actually, I don't think I even had a flip phone yet then. I had a beeper, which we were out of our network, so we weren't even getting signal with that. So here, well, we were tooling around Florida, around Orlando, Florida, checking out apartments near Sanford, and doing different things. Here, a hurricane had changed course and was heading towards Florida, and we had no idea. No one was talking about it. You know, there was no news alerts, and you know, we just didn't know what was happening. And there was the odd occasional strange Florida rainstorm. You know, it was we were even commenting on it, like, man, this is oddly, you know, we just keep getting these thunderstorms. And got back to the hotel room, and the message light was blinking. Our wives had frantically trying to call us to let us know that there was a hurricane that was about to hit, and it was going to make landfall in like 3.5 hours. So it was like, oh crap. So I turned on the television and looked at the Weather Channel, and sure enough, this hurricane was going to hit Orlando. It was going to come right screaming across Orlando. So, the Brocketeer, back in my day, we had 2 tin cans and a string. Yeah. So we scrambled, called USAir, trying to get our flight adjusted. So we got our flight adjusted, and it was the last flight at 9 o'clock at night, flight out of Orlando, and we're like, oh man, are we gonna make it? Because, you know, this hurricane hits, we're gonna get delayed. So sure enough, we got the last flight out. It was, the wind was gusting 40 knots, and I remember we were taking off, and it was thundering, the rain, and we took off, and when we climbed out, I could feel the plane like kick. You know, it was a 737-400, and it just kicked to the side, like, and the turbulence was crazy. That's my story. So I took off in the face of a hurricane in a 737-400, trying to scramble out of Orlando so that we were not stuck there for a hurricane. And literally we were the last plane out of Orlando. The airport closed shortly after our takeoff. And boy, was that a wild ride, climbing out to cruise. And we just bounced around until probably just maybe mid-Georgia. So there's my anecdote for the trip. But, and as everyone knows, did not go to the school. Okay, what happened? I had a young son. I think plans just didn't work out. Air Danish, hi, welcome to the stream. All right, so let's check our VNav, make sure we're on target. So about 74 miles to our top of descent. That looks good. So I'm going to kind of use So we can actually set up the ILS to runway 23. And I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. So we got the ILS to 23 is a course of 227 and 1091. So right here we're going to go 1091. Yeah, but it was going to be cool. I was going to... So Comair, which was a Delta regional, I was going to be learning to fly the Embraer 120s. And then it was like right on the cusp that Comair was getting, they were getting the 120s and transitioning to the CRJ 200s. So I almost became a CRJ pilot. You know, and of course that was before the whole needing 1,500 hours. You could, as long as you were a commercial multi-rated pilot, you could have a minimum of 250 hours, which by the way is still the standard in Europe. But in the United States, you now have to have 15, actually you have to have more than that nowadays, but the minimum is 1,500 hours. Alright, so we set 227 in the course bars. So we set our nav 1, nav 2 to the ILS, and we'll dual set 227. We could also put in Norfolk's VOR if we wanted to, just for some extra situational awareness. And I most definitely would be doing that if I wasn't flying with the UNS. And to be honest with you, we can start our descent, and we can do a shallow descent, 1,100 feet. Just start a slow, lazy descent down. Just to get ahead of the curve. And so go down to 2,000. What's our first one? 2,000, yep. Actually, just let me quick look at the chart. Yeah, J Hall is our intercept, and 1,600 is our final approach fixed altitude. Alright, so we'll go down to 2,000. 1,100 set. Just turn on the vertical speed, and we'll power on back so we don't overspeed. Let's bring it back to 80. See how that does for us. Like I said, no auto throttle, so we can just put our trend monitor on the needle. So we're kind of a little fast. So we can go slower than 80. Oh, a little turbulence. Alright guys, extinguish your cigarettes and fasten your seatbelt signs. Or fasten your seatbelts. Also going to do a flaps 40 landing, and check that out. 116. A little clear air turbulence there. That was pretty cool. So doing our nice leisurely descent. Let's check it out. We're about, yep, right on about 1,100. Yeah, just double check our VNAV reference, 1,100 down to J Hall. So we are. the Turks 2 in. That all looks good. So it should be crossing FAC. I don't know what is that. Oh, Flat Rock. FAK is Flat Rock. Alright, so we can go to nav page again, and we're right on the money. We've passed Flat Rock, and we are going to be heading to Russell next. So this little page right here gives us a lot of information. Let me get a better view of that to show you guys real quick. We can get our winds, our ground speed, our bearing, and cross track. And if you really were in a complicated environment, you could always program some VORs that you could cross-reference to just double check on your UNS-1, because you don't have a magenta line to follow. Alright, so we go Turks, and then so let's find a CTAF for Norfolk, just so we have that. Why don't we have... One of the things I did not put on is so recall. Nope. On 22.8. So I don't see a CTAF actually. So we could use the tower frequency. .8. There's literally no traffic going into Norfolk. We're going to stay on advisory. I know it's not the proper Vatsim way, but this whole CTAF thing's a little confusing. Alright, so let's go back to flight plan. Actually, go back to the nav page. Check our VNav. Alright, so we gotta go adjust our vertical speed to 1550. And we're actually right on the money. That's a good we'll dial that down into 1500 feet per minute. That looks good. for our very breezy approach into Norfolk. Probably going to be a little turbulent. That always makes it fun. Right, guys? '16 was the legal age of smoking, and I started, and also the last year before they banned smoking. My point is, I actually smoked on an airplane. You know, I will give you guys that is actually pretty cool. So I started. I never got to smoke on a plane. Now, uh, did so I started. Well, I started smoking at 11. The legal age to smoke when I started smoking was 16. But when I was about to turn 16, and I was like, oh, you know, finally I can legally go into a gas station, buy a pack of cigarettes. They raised the age to, so I was 15, they raised the age to 18. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Now, but achievement unlocked, my friend. You were able to, you got to smoke on a plane. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we'll arm the lift dumpers. There we go. Make sure that they're armed and ready to go. So what's pretty cool about this plane is that it is, the spoilers actually are deployed at about 100 feet and all the way in. After that, when I flew, I always have a can of tobacco. You know something? I wonder if that's, so you're not allowed to smoke or vape on a plane nowadays. Could you still use chewing tobacco? Or is it just no tobacco products allowed on a plane? Of course, I quit tobacco and I do the whole vape thing now. I'm trying to quit it altogether because, you know, it's just not good for you. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question. I wonder if anybody knows and you're watching, you know, pop in on the chat and let us know. Can you chew tobacco on a plane nowadays? Alright, so ice detected. So we just turn on some ice stuff. That's the engine ice. We'll go with that for now. Of course, actually ice detected, so let's do turn on the wings as well. Alright, so where we're at here, 13,000 coming in. Let's see what our, we're still good at 1,500 feet per minute, and that's where we're at. So we're right on track, guys. Let's just get the barrow in, and I will make a radio call just in case. Norfolk traffic, USAir 535 passing 13,600 Descending Turks 2 for arrival ILS runway 23 in Norfolk. Tea is generally allowed as long as the passenger is clean and doesn't spit on the ground. Oh. There aren't any official rules established by the Federal Aviation or the Transportation Security Administration that limit travelers from chewing tobacco. It is generally allowed. Wow. And it is generally allowed as long as the passenger is clean and doesn't spit on the ground. Wow. And that was from Google. All right. Well, you have it. Google says you can chew tobacco on a plane, guys. But some of that chewing tobacco, I guess, you know, passengers might get a little annoyed if you're close, because you know it does have a scent. But if you had a water bottle where you could put the cap back on, it wouldn't smell so bad. Yeah, we learned something. So you can chew tobacco on a plane. I guess it also might be airline specific, I would imagine. They could make their own rules. So I guess you could check with your airline. But there's generally no rule against it. Alright, so where are we at? Where are we at? We are heading to Norfolk, so let's alright, passing 10,000. So let's slow down. We're going a little too fast. Silence the gear horn. Throw out them spoilers. Let's bring it back to 50% on the N1. And 250 just in time, passing 10,000. Turn on the landing lights and I'll extend the taxi light. Little click spot cheat up here. We can sync our heading bug, and we'll do a little vector style thing. So we're going to go to J-Hall, direct to so J-Hall is 15. Hit enter. And we're going to go direct to J-Hall. So we should be, let's check our VNAV for what we need to be doing to get down to our intercept. So let's do about 2,000 feet per minute, maybe a little more. Let's oh, rain. It wasn't supposed to be raining, guys. Sync that up, and let's go heading, nav. That actually looks good. All right, so we can just nav it for now and go old school. There we go. Break out under the deck. It's the Chesapeake. That actually should be the Bay Bridge out in front of us. right. It's good. We got 5,000, 4,000. All right. Norfolk traffic, USAir 535, direct J-Haul for the ILS runway 23 approach, Norfolk. All right. And we're going too fast again. Let's bring this back, throw out the speed brake. I want to get down to approach speed. Actually hit beam.
2,500.
Intercept that ILS. Let me get the flight computer up, or a flight recorder up.
Come through, please take
Sync
your
rate.
seats.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh,
Sync rate. Course bar active. Sync rate.
not paying attention. I forgot to hit the...
Cabin is secured for arrival.
Oh, wow. Boy, did I screw that up.
Localizer.
Seriously screwed that up. All right. We'll fix it. Almost put us into the Chesapeake there. Climb back up. That was almost a seconds from disaster, guys. All right, fixed. With the glide slope. I was almost in the drink. That was bad. That was bad. Boy, if you talk about not paying attention, trying to get the flight recorder up. All right, Norfolk traffic, USAir 535 on the ILS runway 23 to land Norfolk. All right, that's good. That's good. Let's get that recording so I'm not looking at that anymore. All right, we have localizer capture soon. Let's throw out first stage of flaps. Runway's out in front of us. Gear can come down. There's glide slope capture. Next stage of flaps.
Quiet slow. Speed. Speed. Speed.
Yeah, too slow. Probably because I have my... Alright, I screwed this all up. Hand fly it. Flaps full. Norfolk traffic, USAir 535, 3-mile final, runway 23 to land.
$500.
500 check. Stable, somewhat. A little high on the glides on the pappies. There's correcting that.
100 feet to minimum.
Flaps full, landing lights on.
Minimums. Minimums.
Here's minimums. Continue.
$50. $40. $30. $20. $10.
Oh. That was not good at all. I think I recovered it at the end though, but and we'll brake. Welcome to Norfolk in the most unstabilized approach I've had in a long time. But we are down. Laps could come in. And we'll vacate over here. All right. Norfolk traffic, USAir 535. It's vacated runway 23, Norfolk. Yeah, well, not really the first crash. I've had a couple crashes on stream, but it would have been the first in a while. All right. Stop the recording. It was just not good. No. It was unstabilized. I think almost putting us into the Chesapeake was a was probably what threw everything off. I recovered. I should have gone around. I really should have. But we're here. We got down. Let's actually I could see what our landing rate was. Really? Really? So it's saying here, I'll show you guys. It's saying it was a smasher. I don't think so. Did I bounce? Oh, we are going to have to check that out. All right, we'll come up over here. No, it was my pilotage. There's no blame but to blame myself. $475. That can't be right. We'll have to check it out on the replay. We'll have to check it out on the replay. All right, parking brake on. Welcome to Norfolk. It is a fun little bird, and if that's true, 475 is one of the worst landings I've done. But it didn't feel like that. It felt like I floated it and just kissed it in the end. But we'll see. We'll see how it looks. All right, so let's kill VPilot. Disconnect from VPilot and let's see let's see what there is to see. Okay, so replay. Maybe the bottom did drop out. I really was losing a lot of energy at the end there because everything was off. When I said 500 feet stable somewhat, it was really more of a somewhat. And when I threw out the spoilers, which are protocol for approach 100 feet to the runway, I had no energy left. So it might have bottomed out. We'll see. We'll see when it comes in. Alright, so let's see, it's running forward. So I'm really curious. What was that? 575. Alright, we'll zoom the replay. No way. Landing monitor is still saying it's a hard landing. It didn't compress. Oh well. Although it was hard, it was a hard landing. It's really not. Yeah, I don't even need a maintenance check probably. Just one more quick look. I mean, it wasn't a good approach. I'm not going to try to snub that. It wasn't a good approach at all. But let's. I mean, the angle of attack was a little too high. I tried to arrest that descent. Yeah, that's. Yeah, something's wrong with my landing tool. Yeah, I'm gonna say that that's, I mean, that's just not that. Oh well. It is what it is, guys, and that is the stream. Beautiful Fokker F28, guys. Professional version 2. I'll run this back. Professional version 2. Make sure you guys check it out. Just Flight just released it. It's a free update if you already own the 2020 version. If not, they have a sale going on. I think it's 20% off. Loads of fun. I'm definitely going to be flying this a lot. And yeah, let's wait for that F70, F100 to drop. Alright guys, so that's it for the stream. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody who joined in. We had new guy, Caleb, Aaron Danish. And welcome in, and hopefully you had a good time. And on to the next one, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm Virtual Flight Diaries. My name is John, and see ya.